Hey, this is Derrik Jordan. Welcome to the World Fusion Show, where we bring you the leading innovators in world fusion music. Today, my guest is Yinon Muallem, who is a oud player, percussionist, composer, and is Israeli, but is now living in Sweden. Welcome, Yinon Muallem, to the World Fusion Show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Well, it's just great to have you, and your music is just wonderful. I wanted to start by just asking you a little bit about your background, growing up in Israel, and what that was like for you.
Well, I was born in Israel in 1968. My parents came from Iraq. They were immigrants, Jewish immigrants from Iraq. And, it was nice. We lived in a kind of small city near Tel Aviv, 20 minutes from Tel Aviv. And I used to play basketball. I liked basketball. I still like, but in my youth, I played basketball. And also I played keyboards for 3 years as a child, but then I stopped it. And I just did regular things, other things. I didn't play music until after the army again.
Yeah. So tell me about your dad, because you had a very special relationship with him.
Well, my dad passed away last March, the end of March. He was a great man. He was a lawyer and a judge, former judge. But also he was a musicologist, and actually he wrote a book, a very important book about Turkish and Arabic makams. It's called The Doorway to Arabic Makams. And it was translated to English, also sold all over the world in Amazon for a music institute. Our relation was very close, and he was always coming to concerts, always coming to rehearsals, always commenting. And I think that a big part of me being a musician is I have to give the credit to my beloved father.
Yes, that's wonderful. And in terms of giving him credit and in honoring his memory, you wrote a song for him that we're going to watch in this next video. Why don't you tell our audience about the process in making this video?
Well, losing my father was quite traumatic, but in the 7 days that after his death, I just sat with big sadness and I composed music. And then I called my friend musicians, most of them are Israeli, some of them are Turkish, but all of them knew father very well. The common to everybody is that everybody knew my father because, as I said, he was like a father for them. You know, he would come to the concerts, he would be a friend with them, he would be interested in the music. And luckily, everybody accepted. They were not getting paid because I said, listen, this is a special project to my father. Everybody did it with their heart, and I'm very proud of it.
Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful song and video. Let's go and watch the video right now. right, we are back with Yinon Muallem. Great, very touching, poignant video.
Thank
I
you.
wanted to ask you about some of your musical influences and your most important, inspiring musicians that have really shaped you.
When I have to admit that I'm a kind of solist, with my heart and my soul. So the music I compose is original music that comes from here. But of course, I have influences. I mean, as a child, as a youth, I would listen rock, classic rock, and then jazz. And then when I started to play this Arabic percussion, I needed to listen how they play it. So I would start to listen to classical Egyptian music and later on to Turkish music. So all of it was influence for me. Even I can say the Western music, in jazz, I would listen to classic jazz, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, but then also to Pat Metheny and other stuff. And I think also although my music is a bit different, also this was influencing me. A musician that I really admire is, do you know the group Night Ark?
No, I don't.
The Night Ark is a group led by Arad Indian. Arad Indian is an Armenian oud player, a string player that lives in New Jersey. And in Night Ark in the 90s, they did this great fusion of jazz and Makam music, this Mediterranean music. You can say they're, Oregon?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're a bit in this genre of Oregon. So Arad Indian is a great influence for me. And of course, I would listen to great other musicians, Indians, Zakir Hussain, Shakti, the thing they did with John McLaughlin, and many other stuff. But of course, Turkish music, the different genres of Turkish music also influenced me a lot.
Well, that's really great. I wanted to talk to you about your long time living in Turkey, nearly 20 years. What was that like for you?
Well, that was quite a journey, Formally, I went just to play music there, but then I met my wife and I met a family. And I really almost became one of them. I learned the language. I played with many Turkish musicians. And Istanbul is a huge city with many colors, smells, architecture. It's really, really it gives great inspiration to my creation. And also the influences from Turkish music, the Sufi music, the Ottoman music, the folk music, the gypsy music. There are so many blends and so many fusion of music. So all of this gave me great influence, I think, for my 11 album. And I did 11 album between 2002 and 2021.
Fantastic. That's great. Great. So we're going to go to our next video. This is a beautiful song you wrote called Oasis. Quickly let us know what this one is about.
Okay, let's say just correct. I didn't write the song, but I rearranged it.
Okay.
And this is a beautiful Israeli song, was sang like 20, 30 years ago by a colleague of mine. But it is a song that stayed anonymous. Nobody knew about it. But then in one concert, the singer that sing with me, her name is Eden Holland, she brought it and she said, would you like to play it in the concert? And then I said, wow, what a beautiful lyrics and melodies. You know what? I have to do it. I have to do a cover of it. And then I called the pianist Guy Mintus that played there. He's a jazz pianist that was my partner in those days. And I called the duduk player. Duduk is the Armenian string instrument, a wind instrument that is played. And we recorded it. And then we went to the desert and we did the video clip in the desert near the Dead Sea in Israel.
It's really beautiful. Let's watch it right now.
בשירת נשמה בוכה יחפה בחולות האינסוף טבלתי וצריפים לראשי סככה ממדבר למדבר לנדוד על כנפי עוף החול מביטה אל הכוכבים ושואלת הכל מחפשת אחרי החלום שידעתי מזמן ואליי מן המרחב נפתחים שערי הגן והכל מחולל סביבי בין היום ובין בית אבי מדבר
ואולי האמת מרחוק זוכרת תפילתי בתוכי תירת אהבה שנגעה ופרחה ברגע תהדהד בליבי בדם ממדבר למדבר לנדוד על כנפי עוף החול מביטה אל הכוכבים ושואלת הכל מחפשת אחרי החלום שידעתי מזמן ואליי מן המרחב נפתחים שערי הגן והכל מחולל סביבי בין היום ובין בית אבי מדבר
Hey, that's great. I love that song. And I wanted to ask you about your new CD because you've made so many CDs, but this one I know is really special for you.
Yeah, Norwegian Oud is the name comes from the Beatles' Norwegian Wood song, but because I played with the oud, it was just natural for me to call it Norwegian Oud, which I think is a great name. It's so meaningful to me because it made in the COVID time and in a very difficult time and limitations, but still I was able to record it through studios all over the world with 18 musicians from different countries, India, Australia, Denmark, Germany, Israel, and Turkey. And it was just released in June and received very good critics. It was just last week, it was chosen by Songlines magazine as one of the best albums for October. So now I just hope to start to play it live as soon as possible. You know?
It's great. I love it. And Songlines is a very great magazine for world music. It's really wonderful that you were included in that and honored by the award. So I was going to ask you about this next video we're going to see of yours. I think it's your original piece, Oriental Circles.
Yeah, well, Oriental Circles belong to the genre of Semai. Semai is a kind of a special classical Arabic Turkish music from the old times. And actually, it's not popular music, you know what I mean? And then Songlines chose from all my songs, the new album, they chose Oriental Circles to be in the compilation CD of Top of the World. They chose the 10 best albums and they choose track from every album, and they choose Oriental Circus. And I said, wow, you choose Oriental Circus from all this instrumental. It's not the popular music, not something that they will play it very less in the radio. You know what I mean?
Let's watch the video right now. right, we are back with Yinon Muallem, and I just wanted to ask you about your feelings about music and life and how they're connected for you.
Well, this is a great and big question. Yeah. I'll try to answer about it shortly. Yeah. Well, music is so much linked to my personal life. I mean, actually, the life and the stories of the life are in the music, and the music is inside the story of the life. And, you know, so many pieces are influenced. By the way, I didn't spoke about it, but I wrote also 2 books. And I like to write, and I see a direct link between the life, so many events that happened, some of them traumatic, some of them are joyful, was translated later on to a new composition. But not just events, influences, smells, some noises I heard in the street. So life and music are one. I can say it like that.
They really are. Now, we're going to go to our next video. This one is called Minor Variations, and it features a harp player. Tell us how you came up with this.
Well, harp is the instrument I love first. I met by chance a harpist from Turkey. Her name is Shirin Pancaroğlu. We made an album called Tel ve Ten. In Turkish, it means strings and skin. And it was very good and successful. We had concerts in Turkey and abroad. And I found that the harp is just amazing. Also, you can see the harp in Norwegian oud. It is played by Australian harpist Natalia Mann. So whenever I had the chance to combine this beautiful instrument in my music, I did so. And Minor Variations, it's also influenced from a trip I had to South India. I went there to learn the South Indian percussion, and I was influenced by this trip in Indian music, and that's how it was created.
That's fantastic. Let's watch the video right now. All right. Hey, Yinon Muallem, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's been great to have you and for you to share your beautiful music with our audience.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time too. And good luck and health to everybody.
And same to you. Hopefully, at some point, we'll get to meet in person and even play together. That would be great.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
All right. Here now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, this is Derrik Jordan. Thanks for joining us today on the World Fusion Show. It's been great to have you. And hey, stay tuned because we've got some amazing guests coming up and shows. I know you'll really enjoy them. Anyway, want to just say, please follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and help us spread the World Fusion Show everywhere. And I want to just say a quick thank you to our sponsors, Mackenzie Family Charitable Trust, Dean's Beans, Jeff Green, Nancy Feinberg, and Ron Dans for your generous support. And as we always say, think globally, listen locally, and support independent music.